I'm just gonna take you guys to Vietnam for sure, because I was trying to do my culture. So this is where I came from. As you see, that's the flag. Basically, because my dad, he's a farmer. He was growing up as a farmer, so that's why I have a picture of his farm, and you can see that we technically like really care much of rice, and so it's important. And most of the Asian eat rice, and I don't think like not a lot of American eat rice and us. And so let's see, I grew up here. So if you look at the map, I am all the way down here. The weather is like hot, always hot. It does. Because I remember because I only lived there until I was like 10 or so, and I moved here. So a lot of things, these are a lot of things that I remember as a kid. That's why I put it here. So I don't know how much it changed because I haven't been there for like at least 12 years. So when you're a kid, this is like the basic things that you learn from like the alphabet letter. It looks similar to American's alphabet, but then we had those kind of sign on top of it. Let's see. This is Vietnamese money, and I love to collect money. And this is, if I have more time, I could have like bring it to you guys and show it. Let's see. This is school. This is how school in Vietnam looks, because our family value educations very much. So even though most of like the kids that in my hometown, like they drop out of school, but our house we have to maintain school like no matter what. So we always growing up wearing uniforms, and when I moved here, we didn't have uniforms, so it's kind of like something new that I learned. But I love the uniform; it's really cute. But when you're in school, in Vietnam, it's more strict than here, and the teacher can hit you if you don't do good, or let's say they tell you to do like a math problem, you can do it, and they would hit your hand. So
it wasn't that long. That probably happened to you, did it, Brandon?
I wasn't.
A little bit. Not to you specifically, but.
So this is the traditional Vietnamese hat. As you know, I don't know if anybody tried pho yet. So it's really famous, popular. I personally don't like it, but a lot of people love it.
What's it made of?
It's noodle, there's beef, and there's a lot of vegetable, like traditional. I was thinking, I don't know if you guys try it. I was thinking maybe we can get together and I can make it. Because I did that last time I cooked for, what is the name? Dr. Olivia. Mm-hmm. So I make it for her and she loved it. So, so this is the wedding. This is how wedding looked like. As growing up, like, I don't, like, my family still follow that, because when my sister get married, she did the same thing, but personally, I don't know if I'm gonna do that for my wedding, because there's a lot of, like, step to do. You need, like, at least, like, 12 people, each side, and then hold these. This is the stuff that was for the wedding, and then you have to, walk. I remember last time, I think my brother-in-law, he had, like, his family have to walk from his house to my house. Yeah, it's in Vietnam, it's closer, but it's more fun. But here, I don't even want to walk. Especially, like, wearing, like, traditional clothes and then, walking around the street, it'd be awkward. So, where's the... Okay, this is the uniform for high school. Similar to this, but usually we wear this for New Year. I personally never wear it. My mom, she bought it from Vietnam for me and my sister too, but I think I only wear it once for my sister's wedding. So we have a lot of food, traditional food. This is Vietnamese opera, and when I was young, I remember I used to be crazy about it, and I always like dress myself. I still remember it was really fun. My family, personally, I think I don't have like myself. I don't have a religion, but my parents does seem like believe in Buddhism, but they wasn't really strict for us like what you should believe in. Then they just have it in our house. And when I was young, my mom used to take us to a temple, but I didn't know anything except just go there with her. I still care about it. Let's see. I don't have much for like, cause when I moved, I was still young. But most of the thing that I learned from my parents and the culture, it's just how it is, and it never changed. It's still with me, and I still hold it. Even so, when I moved here, I was like around 10 or so I didn't know anything. First time I came here, I saw snow, and I was like surprised, like crazy. But I lived with my aunt at that time, so didn't know any English at all, not even a single word except hi and bye. So when I go to school, you know the feeling like when you first came and you don't know anybody, and then feeling left out, but I learned slowly to adapt to American culture. But I didn't put it in here because, well, I mean, my family still have this culture with them because, like, my parents, they don't speak English even though they here for so long. They just work, and work, so they don't really have time to learn English at all. That's how I grew up. We speak Vietnamese at home, and sometimes if we don't want our parents to know what we're saying, we speak in English. But they know. There's sometimes my mom just like, don't be rude and say in English stuff, even though I don't understand. But I can at least guess what you're saying. But that's always fun. That's about my family. Cause my dad, he's a farmer, but he also a tailor at the time. So he have like two jobs. It's just I grew up. Let's say my grandma, she is a farmer, so technically all of her, because in Vietnam you can buy if you have your land, you have a lot of land. That means you're rich. But here it's different because everything you have to pay tax. In Vietnam, if it's your land, it's your land. So she had those land where passed it to my dad and use it to farming. And so he just checking stuff, but he wasn't really doing anything hardworking or doing those. But his main job was a tailor, and my mom helped him. So because when I was young, I didn't really know what they've been through before. So there's a lot of things that I still don't know. Only my older sister know. But these are the things that I still value until now. I do adapt to American culture, such as be independent and be freedom and stuff like that. But for my parents, they still want us, be traditional, and they still want to follow the rules and stuff. So this side, I have my family. Aww. I did a family genogram, but I did not put any value in here because it wasn't really something that my parents passed down or telling us every day, but things that we learned from growing up. So I have my grandma. So she's from my dad's side. I'm going to talk about my dad's side. They're complicated. So my grandma, she is very hardworking. She's a farmer. As I said, she was married to I think she had 3 husbands. That's what at least I remember. So she has 4 kids that include my dad. He's the youngest. I did not include her kids because it's been like 12 years I haven't seen them, so I don't remember much about them. We didn't really keep contact because when I moved here, we don't really know like Facebook or Skype or anything like that. So my grandpa, to be honest, I don't even know he exists. I thought he passed away until I came first step to America and to a house and they telling me this is your grandpa. I'm like, whoa, where did you come from? I did not know him, so I don't know like what to tell you about him. But I want to say this, but he's a jerk kind of because he left my grandma for another person, which they have another kids, and so that's my uncle. But I don't really care about it because it wasn't in my family mind. Because I care about my family. That's why these all here are the important people in my life. Some of them does not have picture because they are all in Vietnam, so I don't have their picture. So my dad was, even though like I'm gonna say my dad got like learned from my grandma, like hardworking and stuff like that, and because they mom and dad they don't have I think they never finished high school, but they always telling us like school is important, education is important. So in order for you to have a better life or a successful life, you need to have high education. As I mentioned in class, and that my dad, he always telling us to be doctor. He would brag about, our kids, like, or other kids, like, they can be doctor, you should be doctor, and stuff like that. And he always think doctor is like the highest one where you can make a lot of money and you can have the, how should I say it, the pride in the name. But in our minds, different because we're from different generation and we move here, so we learn college is different, school is different. So we can't really explain it to them how it is. But we still value education very high. That's why my sister and me, and actually this is my older sister. And my second sister and me and then my brother, we all go to school. So from the start until now, we never stop. And I told you, my brother, he tried to get a perfect attendance because he wanted to get to like popular school and stuff like that. So that's why there was a lot of pressure from my dad about school, especially going to get doctor degree. Mostly my sister, she is the one who got a lot of pressure because she's like the smart one in the house because she studied chemistry and math, so she's always the one that's here. My dad, even though he told me, but I still do what I can and study what I can. So my sister, well, I'm gonna talk about my grandma. She's the one that passed away, I think like last December. Because I when I leave, she was still too young, to know what, to tell them. But I know that they care about us a lot. That's why our family is really close. Even though my parents sometimes they fight in front of us, but we still like. I don't know how to explain it, but from my perspective, my family, there's always something hold us together. Even though my parents sometimes they fight in front of us, we see it, we feel it, like not happy, and sometimes their mom's like, "How did you divorce your dad?" Stuff like that, and I would feel like, as a young, like, imagine like what it's gonna be like if they separate, but they're always together. I think it's because they think of their kids and they didn't want to affect their kids. They didn't want our kids, to be break apart in our family. And so my sister and I, our siblings is really close. We don't fight a lot. there's a strong bond between us, and we always live together. We don't adopt like the American style, like where you at a certain age you have to leave the house. My dad, he never allowed. So even now, he still does not like let me go on travel alone at all because he just says it's not safe, not safe. So they just really hard on that, and it's just passed down to us, and we know what we should care for. Um, so my mom, she's pretty. How do I say? A lot of nagging, but I still love them. She teach me like how to be a good girl, even though sometimes I don't know what it is. I already know what it is, just I don't want to do it. Like they say. So for my culture, what I learned is money is important, and also that's why we came here for education to have a better life. And there is the part that so when you can't have things I think are like the most important. If you're a girl, you're not allowed to have sex if you're not married. They don't say it, but we know it. You're not allowed to go out late. That's why I don't go out late. And we don't drink. We don't smoke, except my dad. He's the only who does that, but we don't do that. They does allow us. They don't really say much about dating, but if you're too young, you cannot do it. That's it. So you have to behave, respect. That's how we were taught. Like if you're older than us, we have to respect you. If they talk, you can't talk back, but I always does. So, just because we're too close, and so it's okay sometimes. So this is my sister. She's the one that I think the most helpful in my family because when we moved here, she sacrificed a lot for us. She, even though she went to school, but she did not go to college. She went to, I think, like a community college type, and she got her degree there, and 2-year degree. But so she used most of her time taking care of us and provide us money and stuff like that. That's why I use my time to help her when she needed. And she always tell me like, if you want something, you gotta work hard on it. Especially, nobody's here for you. Even though we have a lot of relatives here, different state, but we're not close. So we're on our own. That's why this is my center of my life. It's my family. So this is her husband. They married. This is her kids. This is our first nephew and grandkids from my parents, so he is spoiled. So this is my sister and her boyfriend, and this is my boyfriend. But yeah. So one thing that I could say is, in summarize, like I learned from my parents is being hard worker. Do what you gotta do in life and get through life. If you want success, you gotta work hard on it. And personally, from what I learned for myself is, if I don't like people judge me, and I don't like judge people. I don't, because sometimes my parents compare us, and that's hard. But I always tell myself that no matter what, whatever I do, it's me. I don't care like what people say. I should care about what I think of myself. More important, because I don't live for people. I live for myself and what I values, and it's my family. So that's why this is my central. So I think that's all. Any questions? questions?
I have a question. Okay, so I know that you said that you live with your parents. So does your sister who's married live with your parents too?
No, but they have their own house and
Okay.
they live pretty close to us.
And then also you said that your sister is just a really hard worker. Does your sister, is she the one that owns a nail salon?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So she's my role model.
Yeah, that's cool.
Did you have a hard time like blending the two cultures when you got here, as far as like what you learned from being in Vietnam, and then kind of you talked a little bit about how you're independent and like freedom is.
Well, because when I was young, I remember that I have my own mind of set, like, whatever I don't like, you know, whoever respect me, I respect them in terms of that. So when I came here, even though the culture is new, but I value all the Vietnamese culture in me. That's why I hold it. But I do like the culture in America because there are some things that I care, let's say freedoms, independence, and freedom. I like the freedom of speech, freedom, like most of the freedom that I can do. There's a lot of things that I can do, but let's say if I live in Vietnam, I don't think I could have done what I done now, or even get here. That's all I say. And because I'm also mixed. My dad's side, my grandpa, he's Chinese, and my dad's side is most of them are Chinese, and I don't know who they are, to be honest. But I consider myself like 25% Chinese in me. Sometimes that's why I like Chinese culture too, and I see them very similar. But I did not put it in here because I don't know much about them in terms of putting in my culture.
Nancy,
Oh yeah, you could.
thanks.